Hi students, good morning and welcome back to Social Studies class. We are doing revision for the periodic one and we are revising our geography chapter 1 resources and development. And in today's class we shall discuss about resource planning in India. Right, resource planning. Now what is planning? Planning nothing but making a set of goal or arranging everything for achieving a goal. Means whatever you want to achieve, making a well plan for that. Okay. For example, if you want to construct a house, you will plan various things. You first, suppose you have already land, then no problem. Otherwise, you plan to purchase a land. Now you think the location should be good, the area should be good, it should be a developed area, and most of the facilities should be within reachable. And when you plan the design, the model of the house, okay. Next, how much capital you need to invest in that, everything you will be planning. So planning, without planning, we cannot achieve anything. Planning is must for success of any goal or any achievement. If you want to do any achievement, we need to plan. Okay. For example, when we attained our freedom, when we got our freedom in 1947, first of all, planning was introduced. Planning Commission was formed in 1950, and then 5-year plannings were adopted in India for the development. So planning is must. Without planning, we cannot achieve anything. Okay, so today's class we shall discuss resource planning in India. Now, why do we need to do planning in India? Why do we need to do resource planning? See students, our country is a vast country, 7th largest country in the world. Okay, and at present we have 28 states after the formation of Jammu and Kashmir into Union Territories. At present, we have 28 states. And all these 28 states are not equal in the size, in area, in population, in resources, minerals, anything. They are not equal. Okay? So, there are states having excess of some other thing and lacking in some other thing. So all these states are facing some problem. Okay. Now to overcome all those problems, we need planning. We need to plan the resources and redistribute in those areas, places where their need and requirement is there. For that, first of all, what we have to do, we have to identify the resources. Identification and inventory of resources across the regions of the country. Entire country we have to identify what are the resources. We have to invent them, find out where are they located, what are they, what is their potentiality, capacity, quality and quantity. Everything you have to find. Okay. The next thing comes that evolving a planning structure endowed with appropriate technology, skill and institutional setup for implementing them. Okay, we have to use technology, we have to set up institutions. Okay, how to bring these resources into use. And third, and not the least, that is matching the resources development plan with overall national development plan. They should both match. The resource development and our national development both should match. Okay, then only we can achieve our goal, target. Okay, now, the availability of resources is necessary condition for the development of any region. Without that, we cannot develop. Okay, but more availability of resources in absence of corresponding changes. What happened? Especially in technology, we cannot access them. Students, for example, you take Africa continent. It has abundant resources. Much of the resources has been utilized and extracted by the European nations during colonial time, but still they are possessing huge resources, but they are unable to utilize them. The reason is they are lacking in technology. Okay, so see, if you have things but you don't know how to use, what the use of that thing? Suppose you have Mercedes Benz or any other car, small car also, Alto, but you don't know to ride. Okay, then you will hire a driver, but you cannot. You can have the feeling of riding in a car, but you cannot have the feeling of riding the car. Okay, that is important. So there will be a lot of difference in these two feelings. So students, technology plays very important role. That is knowledge, skill, how to use that, how to bring these resources into use. And we all know that among all the resources, human beings are the utmost resource, which makes all the resources into useful one. Okay, even history says that our country has been colonized by European nations. That is mostly for a long time, British only ruled our country. Other European countries like French, Portuguese, Dutch and all, they ruled for a few years. Okay, and though they ruled for many years, only limited area, but maximum area was under the control of Britishers. Now why, how and why they rule our country? First of all, they rule for the resources. By seeing the abundant resources of India, they were attracted towards India. Now, how they were able to rule? Because of their technology, because of their power. Okay, the resource, power and technology which they were possessing at the time, the Indian people were not possessing. That was the reason. So technology plays an important role in that. Next, conservation of resources, very, very important. Without conservation of resources, we cannot achieve any development. Because when we are doing development, at the same time we need to conserve, minimize the wastage. Okay, from the limited resource you have to use in a maximum way. You know, Gandhiji told that there is enough for everyone's need, but not for everyone's greed. Means जरूरत के हिसाब से अगर देखा जाए तो सबके लिए रिसोर्सेज बराबर है, आर इक्वल इन अमाउंट. मगर अगर लालच के हिसाब से देखा जाए तो किसी एक व्यक्ति के लिए भी काफ़ी नहीं है, नॉट एनफ फॉर वन पर्सन आल्सो. सो if we use only for our need and requirement, then it is enough. The remaining thing can be used by other people. Okay, next, you know, if you take land is the main resource on which we perform various economic activities. On land we use for making building, infrastructure, house, we do as agriculture, industries, everything we do on land only. All the activity we perform on the land only. So land is the most valuable and useful resource. Okay, so we should use it in a proper and in a very careful way, because day by day or decade by decade the population on this planet is increasing, but the land size is reducing. Now you say, sir, how land is reducing? Land is there, but the form of the land is reducing. For example, agricultural land, forest land, those land are reducing. We are converting them into industrial area, housing area, infrastructure facilities, all these things are converting. Okay, so which will create imbalance in the nature. You know, if you see the percentage of land available in India, among all, 43% are plains. Okay, which supports agriculture, industrial growth and various infrastructures. Next we have 27% plateaus, where we find minerals. Okay, and mostly apart from that, minerals and you can say other resources we find in these plateaus. Next we have 30% mountain, which we have forest, we have various you can say historical places. Apart from that, we can see very tourist places. Okay, ecological balance, ecological park, we have all these things, okay, included in that. So this is the division of land mass in India. Now, how do we use this land? For example, we use as a forest. Okay, now again we have land not available for cultivation, the land which we cannot cultivate. Such type of land again divided in two types: barren and wasteland. Barren means on which we cannot do agriculture, where we cannot produce food grains, and wasteland. But nowadays we cannot call any land as a wasteland. Every land is useful. If not agriculture, it can be brought into industrial. It can be brought into housing, infrastructure. So many other activity we can perform on that. So we cannot say wasteland. Okay, but it is wasteland as per view of agriculture. As per view of agriculture, it is a wasteland, but in other sense, it is not a wasteland. Next, land put to non-agriculture uses. Example, buildings, roads, factories. This also comes under non-agricultural land. Okay. Next, other uncultivated land like permanent pasture and grazing land. Certain areas we leave the land without cultivating. Permanently pasture for grazing of animals. In our country it is very less, but in other countries like Australia if you go, North America if you go, European country you go, they have permanent pasture land. Because the population of these countries are less, area is more, so they leave those land as a permanent pasture. In our country it is very few, okay, and very less because of excess population and less land availability. Okay, next, land under miscellaneous tree crops. Okay, miscellaneous tree crop like gardening, or you can take like plantation. Okay, all this comes under miscellaneous tree crop. Next, cultivable wasteland left uncultivated for more than 5 agricultural years. Means the land which can be brought into agriculture, but that land is left uncultivated for 5 agricultural years. That also known as land which will not come under agriculture cultivation. Next, fallow land. Fallow lands means left 1 or 2 agricultural season to regain the fertility. But nowadays, because of more pressure on the land for growing the food grains, farmers are not leaving the land as a fallow land. They are following the crop rotation method. Because of this, the fertility of the soil will be regained, maintained, and they will be growing the crop in every agricultural season. Okay. Next, net sown area. Net sown area means area sown more than once in a year, in agricultural year. Plus, net sown area is also known as gross crop area. Out of total area, how much area we are bringing into cropping pattern. That is known as gross crop area. So students, I hope so. Today's class you have understood why resource planning is compulsory in India, why we need to do resource planning in India, and land resources, land utilization, which we have discussed today. Okay, so keep reading your textbook thoroughly. By the time, take care. See you in the next class.